This was literally supposed to be a 10k lunch run. I did a half marathon 48 hours ago. And now not only am I doing 42.2k, I'm actually doing 44.
Okay, let me explain. I'd eaten quite a lot, more than usual for me, the night before and the morning of the day I completed this 43.5 kilometre run. I had a marathon race booked the week after, and frankly, I hadn't really trained for it. You can check out this video to see how little I'd actually prepared for it. So, I found myself with a day off, and I decided I'd kill two birds with one stone by going on a little jog to help the food go down, and also it would count as part of my training for the marathon I had booked myself on. I always go on a run without thinking how many kilometres I'd run for, but on this day, I guess I did a Forrest Gump.
Even though I did the half marathon by myself 2 days ago.
I know today I did 22 kilometres, but
I had a massive urge to run and not even take my earphones with me, just to run without anything, listening to nature and people. It's beautiful to run in autumn. So many golden leaves. And yeah, it's quite fun.
It was at this point I decided that I was going to try to run around 32 kilometres.
Absolutely pouring. It is pouring it down now. I'm drenched. Luckily, this iPhone has a waterproof case on it. We're about 18, 19k in, and I really don't want to stop because I'm on a roll, flow state and all. It's beautiful. There's no one in the park. Look, it's making me really want to run. For once, I have a peaceful run. No one's in the park. No one's going to steal my phone. I'm not going to look cringe filming myself running because there's no one in the park. Let's go. Oh, chucking it down now, and I'm wearing grey shorts that look so damp when they're wet, and it's still on the hunt for water. Guys, the cafe was open and they filled my bottle up. My ankle's a little bit sore, so we'll see how it goes. I've dropped my pace a little bit, but yeah, rain has stopped, which is good. And yeah, I can't speak. I don't know how people chat and run. Like, I'm going slow enough now to chat without being breathless at like 5:50 per kilometre pace, which is really slow for me. But this is a long run, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, and there's muddy bits as well. I'm gulping my water now, whereas the first 15k I barely took any sips. 25k's in, I'm really thirsty, but my stomach is still so full from all of the food I've had. Every fitness influencer, runner who blogs on YouTube always goes, have your gels, your sweets, peanut butter. I am so full right now. At least half the food I've eaten is still in my stomach now. And yeah, half is in my intestines. So you can see if you carb load, and if you don't yourself, like I was scared of. I went 6 times this morning before the run. Then you're sort of okay. Honestly, a bit tired because the park's only 2.65 k's. The perimeter of the park, so I've gone around so many times now that just mentally I feel so fatigued. I'll go over all the food I've eaten last night and this morning, and you'll see why. "25k's in, I do not need any peanut butter or gels. Definitely if you eat enough, you're more than fine. But because I've eaten so much, there is always that risk that I might poo myself. Like I said, I've been 6 times this morning before the run. I'm still enjoying it, but I'm 28k in, 28 and a half, so not much more to go. And I just want to make sure that I can run the whole thing. There is no shame in walking during a run, but I've never done that myself. I probably will in the marathon, but I just want to make sure at least these first 32k's I'm running it. I've only taken a 20-second break when I had to run into the cafe to fill my bottle of water, and all this other time, all these 3 hours, I've been running. because I've eaten so much, I haven't had to stop to buy a Lucozade or have some sugar like I did in the last 2 ever 30Ks I ran, or in the 50K I ran, that I walked part of the 50K. So let's see if I can make it to 32 without stopping. You know why it's hard as well? Because in my head, I calculated that it was one more round around the park, but I've just seen him at 28, which means it's at least going to be another round. So I've got 2 more rounds around the park to go. That's why, like, mentally, I think I've clocked out and I'm finding it difficult from 28K, because I thought it would be over soon, but there's more to go. Anyway, I'm working on that anterior mid-cingulate cortex, making it nice, fat and juicy and big. That part of my brain about willpower and determination and discipline. This is the bit where it counts, because up till now I haven't found it challenging. I have so much food in my belly, so much fuel in the tank, that it's been quite easy. And I don't mean to boast when I say that. It's purely because I train quite a lot, and also I've just eaten so much. Physically, I can still go for ages, but mentally I'm clocking out. It's getting darker. I've been around, I don't know how many times now. I'll check Strava, and Nike running app. So yeah, still 2 more rounds to go. I thought there was one. Guys, 1 more kilometre to go. Maybe if this was a marathon, I would have to eat something those last 10K. But definitely these 32K without any snacks or sugar has been brilliant. I'm going to see if I can send it for that last K, although I'm literally dragging my feet now. I'm slurring my words. So let's see if I can push for that last kilometre, even though this has not been a speed run. But I've kept running, no stops, no walks. So let's go. Okay, I did it. 33 kilometres. It's quite far to go home. Should I run it? So we know that the first 33K I ran completely. The rest I might walk run. Should we see how it goes? I'm going to keep the stats running. I don't know, I feel like I run a little bit more. All that chocolate. See, it's fueling me. Yeah, I reckon I could run a little bit more. That last K, I got into an altercation. There was one of those small dogs that ran across me. So I was like, please, wait. And the owner was very rude, this older woman who was like, calm down. And I was like, I'm trying to run fast and I don't want to kick your dog. Because I love dogs. But that dog wasn't trained well and literally ran towards me like I was going to give it something. I don't know, maybe I wasn't running towards a dog. But anyway. Do I feel like I could run the rest? Maybe. I'll keep the stats going and I'll keep running to see where it goes. I'm not going to run a marathon. Bruh. But I do have like 9K. But no, don't tempt me. 36 kilometers. I feel like I'm drunk. My legs are all like wobbly and jelly. God. I feel drunk, but happy. Also, I didn't mention, but 12K's in, this 12-year-old, I don't know if he's 12, a teenager on the bike was like, keep going, and I was like, thank you. It's just beautiful what running does. I'm dragging my feet. I'm just talking so that my rest can be longer because I'm gonna have to keep running. That's what I told myself. 38Ks. I've just realised that Nike running app hasn't got the first 2 kilometres because I only started it 2 kilometres in, but I want it to record like I've done a 42.2K marathon. So I'm going to have to run more than a marathon so that Nike running up counts it as that I've run that distance, if that makes sense. I would have already run a marathon distance, but because of this discrepancy on the app, it's going to force me to run another 2K. I don't know how I'm doing this. Oh, I've got like a quarter tank left of food in my stomach. I can feel like I'm peckish, but I can keep going. I'm running these last 3Ks. I'm so slow. I think I'm quicker walking. I'm getting a bit hungry, not gonna lie. So I'm 39 kilometers and I'm getting a bit hungry, but remember, I'm gonna have to do 5Ks. I'm gonna have to do 44 kilometers because of the stupid Nike running app starting at 2Ks in. Ugh. Properly dark now. So as a girl, in London in winter, I have to run where it's lit and there's people so that I don't get killed or worse. Girls, you know what I'm talking about. But as you can see, it's quite well lit. Yeah, just I think 2k more to go, but actually I have to run 4k because of the night running app thing that I keep saying. I know I'm just being stubborn, but I'm just a stubborn person. And also, I cannot believe I've run this with no food. Like, what? I must eat so much for my little body that I've got so much fuel stored that I can run without food. I haven't really trained, have I? If you followed me, you know that I do one run a week as of 3 weeks ago because I have an official marathon competition. This run was only supposed to be 10k, and then when I got to the park I was like, do you know what, let's do a cheeky 30k. Actually 32k. No way am I doing a marathon. And now not only am I doing 42.2k, I'm actually doing 44 just for the app purposes. I did a half marathon 48 hours ago. This was literally supposed to be a 10k lunch run, and now it's like dark. I want to keep like jogging at this slow AF pace for the Strava app to record my marathon distance. My training for the marathon that I have booked, which is next week, has been 5 runs. Oh no, 5 runs, and then this is the 6th run, which is the actual distance, if not more distance. Sorry, I can't do maths when I'm like this. Can you imagine doing calculations when you're like this? Your brain can't think. Anyway, I better put this phone away, it's going to get stolen. Let's see how far it gets me. How is there an uphill in my last 0.5 kilometres? I'm not dying as bad as I thought I was. My quads are a bit sore, but at the moment I feel sort of okay. I'm going to jog the last bit. I was going to walk it, but whatever, we've got to send it. 0.5 kilometres to go, half a k to go. Let's see what happens. I'm still on the main road, but there's less people now, so maybe I can run a bit faster. Okay, I've officially run the marathon. But I'm still running for the other app to catch up. I actually think I miscalculated, but don't crucify me. My brain can't do simple maths when I'm running. It's just 1 kilometre left for Nike running app, so obviously I'm going to send it because it's just 1 more kilometre, you know? If you're watching this and you've ever run a marathon, do you think you can run the extra kilometre after you run your marathon? Anyway, but I'm really happy. I know this is underwhelming, but my phone's going to die. I'll celebrate after. I don't know what happened. This is not a design. Both of these things should be this light grey, but this is all wet from my sweat post-marathon dinner. It's a massive bowl. Ankles are happy.
I'd taken a long hot shower and blasted them with hot water to decrease any inflammation.
10 to 11 at night, and I was just still too hungry, so I've got some mince bolognese that I froze and some rice over it that I've heated in the microwave.
And of course, a big bowl of bran flakes. With my favourite Tony's, the dark chocolate, sea salt and almond lime green one crushed in.
I'm so surprised.
Finding out I wasn't too sore the next day was a massive shock, but a really good one, considering that 7 days later I would be running the official marathon that I had paid to take part in.
Feeling fine.
Make sure you watch the next video on my channel because that will be all about how it went. Every now and again I end up running a nice juicy long run, maybe once every couple of years, but this was long even for me. I think the reason I can still do these, even though I don't run as much as I used to, is because I have that endurance built up from all the walking I do. Walking is the unsung hero of endurance runs, and maintaining the ability to casually run over 43 kilometers when you fancy it is definitely down to that. And all the food I consume. Watch this video next to see just how much food I consume on a daily basis.